Elizabeth Lehman, 8:05 in the morning, March 27th, and I'm doing the urinary catheter video on a male. Hi, Mr. Smith. My name's Elizabeth, and I'm going to be your student nurse today. Can you identify your name and date of birth for me? Good. And can you tell me, do you have any allergies? No? Good. So the doctor has ordered that we do a urinary catheter on you just to help you pee. Can you tell me when was the last time you went to the bathroom or you went pee? Okay, good. Since the doctor ordered that, we're going to go ahead and start that now. I'm going to raise the bed to working level above my waist to maintain sterility. Like I said, I have a doctor's order. He has no allergies. And the last time he peed was long enough ago that we're going to go ahead and do this now. I'm going to start by putting on clean, non-sterile gloves. I already did my hand hygiene with the Germex. I'm going to go ahead and move his blanket down and put his legs into the frog leg position. Drape the bath blanket over him. Privacy, and make sure I have enough working space. Okay, I'm going to start by just cleaning him up a little bit. So I'm going to start by going in a circular motion around the urinary meatus and then moving down. And I would do this 3 times. There's the first. Grab a new one and do the second, and a new one to do the third. At this point, he is clean now, so I'm going to clean off my working space so I can go ahead and start with the sterile field. I'm going to do some hand hygiene. And for this demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and do it in the bed. I'll sit that in the bed while I do my sterile gloving. Okay. So I would have cleaned this off to make sure it was sanitized. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and open this so I don't have to break sterility by opening it. Okay, that is now sterile, so I can't touch that until I have my gloves on. Okay, I'm going to start with my dominant hand. I'm watching my thumb go onto my non-dominant hand. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Keeping my hands above my waist. We're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to start with my drape. And my fenestrated drape. Keeping it off of the bed. The shiny side will go down. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and set up my field. For this purpose, we're not going to use the iodine sticks because iodine will stain the mannequin, but I only need one, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the third or the second and start by just opening them. I'm getting my lube ready. Now I'm going to go ahead and start by getting the catheter tip in the loop so it's ready. And for a male, I would loop 7 inches. And insert 7 to 9. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get my syringe ready to inflate the balloon. And if my policy required it, I would pre-inflate the balloon, but for this we don't. So this says that we can do, it's a 12 French and 5 milliliters. This has 10, so I'll be sure to stop at 5. And now I'm gonna break my sterility with my non-dominant hand to clean prior to inserting. So for this, once again, you're just going to clean around the urinary meatus in a circular fashion and dispose, making sure not to cross over my sterile field. Once again, and dispose, and for a third time, and dispose. At this point, we're ready to insert, so I'm going to tell Mr. Smith to bear down, and he might feel a little pressure and discomfort. Like I said, I will insert it 7 to 9 inches, making sure not to break my sterile field. Once I've gone in 7 to 9 inches and I see urine, I'm going to insert it 2 more and grab it an inch down to inflate. If he feels pain, I will stop the inflating and move forward another inch. Okay. It's done. And I will do a slight tug. At this point, I can now break my sterile field. And I will latch this onto his leg and move this onto a non-movable part of the bed, making sure it does not touch the ground. At this point, I would then chart how he handled it, what type of or what size catheter I used, as well as how much fluid I put in there and how much urine initially drained out. I will then clean up my space and let him have his privacy. I would also report any pain that he might have had, and what the urine looked like that came out. So I'm going to go ahead and tear this now and clean him up. I would also sign and date the bag with what time I did it, what day I did it, and my initials. Don't stop it yet though. So give him his privacy. Lower his bed and make sure he has his call light. And once again, I would go and document everything. Then at this point, I would perform hand hygiene before I leave the room. And now we come back because we have a doctor's order to remove the catheter, because he's had it long enough and he feels like he has to pee over the catheter. The catheter I would go ahead and drain first, and at this point provide privacy. I would make sure I have a syringe to, the appropriate syringe to deflate the balloon, and I checked the chart and we only put 5 mils in, so I'll have to make sure I take 5 mils out. He's gonna go to the bathroom using a urinal, so I have that by his bedside. At this point, since this is not a sterile procedure, I just need regular clean gloves and some wipes to clean him up after. So I'm going to put on my clean gloves. Mr. Smith Smith, we're going to go ahead and remove your catheter now. Can you confirm your name and date of birth? Good. And one more time, do you have any allergies? No? Good. So I've provided him privacy, and I have my clean, non-sterile gloves on. I'm going to raise his bed once again to working level. Lay down his sheets, and once again, this is not sterile. This is just a clean procedure. So I've got a bath blanket for privacy. I have already pre-emptied my urinary bag. And I'm going to start by connecting the syringe, and like I said, the order said 5 mils, so we're only going to draw out 5 mils. I'm going to tug. If I feel any resistance, I would have gone and tried to remove more. And I will then clean him up and make him aware that the first time he pees, he may feel a little burning sensation. I would record how much urine I removed from the bag and how he tolerated me removing it. And at that point, I would wait for him to pee. If he hadn't in 4 hours, I would want to bladder scan him to make sure he's not retaining any urine. And after that, I will give him privacy. And once again, go chart how he handled it, how much urine I removed, and then check back in on him to make sure he has peed. He has his urinal next to him as well as his call light. I've raised his head and lowered his bed and cleaned up my workstation. I will then provide hand hygiene before I leave the room. Thank you.